Hello again, my name's Floyd Caldwell. I'm going to give you a short message here on why do bad things happen to good people? Good question, eh? It seems like all the bad people get all the good things. Isn't that the way it seems? You know, you follow the path of righteousness and you look around and you say, guy doesn't even believe in God. Look at all the stuff that he gets. You know, he gets all these things, right? But understand, you have to ask yourself a question. Do you want what goes along with all those things, all these toys that people have? I don't think so. Insurance, gas, all this kind of stuff, the time to play with it, especially in this day. Most people have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. So why do bad things happen to good people? Well, it's a very simple thing. The reason that bad things happen to good people, because good people know how to turn bad things into something good. Bad people don't know how to turn bad into good. They're bad people. Okay? Good people, well, they know how to turn bad into good. See, God says that He will turn all bad into good for His glory. If you're following Him, you're part of His glory, so He's going to turn those bad situations, things that you think are bad, He's going to turn them into something good for Him. You just got to be patient and faithful and walk with the armor through these challenges. Period. That's just the way it is. No other thing. You have to see these things for as they are. See, people who are good people who can turn bad into good, it's because we don't. Well, I don't. I don't always look at what I'm seeing. I see what I'm looking at. Same as when I hear. I don't only hear what I'm hearing. I listen to what I'm actually hearing. I'm hearing what's not being said. Okay, and so that's why good people. That's why bad things happen to good people, because we're equipped to turn them into something good, which is a witness to people who don't believe when they see bad things happen to good people and that they can turn it around without let them affect it. It has an effect on them. I've had that in my life. Sometime I'll tell my story, some of the stuff that happened to me in a 10-year period. My friends of mine used to say to me, he said, Floyd, he says, how can you go through all that stuff and still be positive like you are? And I said, exactly, you just said it. I said, I go through it. I do not let it stop me. Because there is an answer to every situation. You just got to look for it. And so some of the things that I went through, I would used to say, God, you say in your word that you won't push us past what we can handle. Well, I'm ready for the Olympics. I remember saying that to him when I was going through stuff. And I said, man, I'm ready for the Olympics. But you know what? It was his grace and his strength that got me through those things. Okay? Sometimes I'll tell my testimony of I even find it hard to believe. Okay? But it was a witness for him. And through it all, I trusted in him. And he pulled me through it, and I came out on top. But I could have let it defeat me. I could have said, woe is me, look at me, I got cancer, my septic system went when I got cancer, I had to go bankrupt in my business because of my cancer, and all these things that happened at one time. My well went at the same time. Family members were dropping off left and right unexpectedly. There was a whole ton of stuff that was happening in my life in a 10-year period. And that's when my friend said, man, I don't know how you can keep a positive attitude with all that stuff and how you can go through all that. And I said, that's exactly what I do. I go through it. I do not let my circumstances dictate my personality. I do not let my circumstances change who I am. I keep them outside of me, and I analyze them, and I deal with them. Because most people, they think that the problems they have, there is no such thing as a problem. You've had problems in your life that you overcame them, so they weren't a problem anymore, right? Never were a problem. What they were was a situation that you had not found the solution to yet. That's all they were. And if you can learn to look at your what so-called problems as only situations you haven't found the solution to yet, and instead of letting them overtake you where you can't even think of a solution or you can't even see a way out of it, Yeah, try looking at it a different way, not as a problem, but as a situation that you haven't found the solution to yet, because there is a solution to every situation that you will run into. So if you want to be able to handle rough situations like some people do, come on over. There's lots of room on this side. There's lots of room on God's side. The boat's not empty. There's room until the ark on the door closes. A friend of mine said one time, he says, he says, tell people this. Picture that you're the third monkey trying to get on the ark and it's starting to rain. Okay? It's starting to rain, folks. It's starting to rain. You've got a free ticket that you've been given. The price has been paid. Christ paid all the price that needs to be paid for you to cash in that ticket that you have. And if you don't cash in that ticket and get on that train real soon, that train's going to leave and you're going to be standing on that platform with an unused ticket. And the next train, you don't need a ticket because you're automatically going to get on board and you're going to where it's real hot for eternity. So cash that ticket in and just get on the train and see what's on there that you may not be aware of. Because I'll guarantee you, once you get on this train, you'll wish you got on it a long time ago. And the reason you didn't get onto it a long time ago, because there's been nothing out there to entice you to get on it. The doctrines that they teach, a lot of them are not of God. If they're not God, they don't have any power behind them. It's as simple as that. His word has power behind it. His word can move mountains. Mountains of your situations that you're facing, he can eliminate them. But he only does it for those who call upon him, because he will not interfere in your life unless you invite him. That is a principle of God that will never change. He gave you free will and he will never break it. So why don't you think about some of the things I'm saying? Send some messages in the comment. Ask some questions. I appreciate all comments, good and bad. I'm really more focused on the negative comments because all I'm about is clarity. In this day, God wants his word spoken in clarity the way he wrote it, not the way some man wrote it and interpreted it. Okay? He wants you to hear what the book says, but he would rather, and which would be more to your benefit, is if you went in that book and found out for yourself what it says, because until you do that, you will never know if you're hearing truth out there when someone's speaking about the Most High. There's no way of you to know. If you don't know what the truth is to start with, how do you know if you're hearing truth? And so find out some truth for yourself. Again, comment. Send me the comments. I want to hear your doubts, because I'll look at you and tell you honestly, with him watching, if you don't believe in God, that's because you do not know who he is. And the reason you don't know who he is, because you haven't looked in it yourself. And if you're counting on out there to teach you, you're setting yourself up for deception. He says, let no man deceive you. So find out for yourself. Have a great journey. God bless you and your family. I hope you're walking under the wings of his protection. And until next time, God bless.